Hey everyone, and welcome to this video. Last few weeks been riding and racing and stuff like that, but it's time to do a restore. So I've bought a 1995 CR250. Just bought it off a guy on Facebook. It's pretty rough, I'll tell you that, but that's alright. I wanted a year that I was born, but I couldn't get that one. Just because there's hardly any out there anymore, and the people that actually want to sell them either have already restored them or they get snapped up pretty quick. So 95, so it was the only year that McGrath won the Supercross and the motocross on it. It was the only title in the motocross, so I thought that was still pretty special. So still the same shape as the 93, obviously just not a 93. So but yeah, I picked it up, $1,300. Apparently the guy said that he'd bought it exactly the way it was, had plans of restoring it, never did. Had it for a couple of months and just wants to move it on because he doesn't want to do it anymore apparently. So he said that he bought it under the impression that it didn't run. So, and I've kicked it over, or not kicked it over, but I've pushed the Kickstarter down, and there's it's free, but there's definitely something wrong down there. So but yeah, I'll probably make 4 or 5 videos just on this bike, maybe even more. I'm not too sure how it goes. So but yeah, I wanted to kind of do it just like a McGrath replica, so and still ride it, but yeah, I wanted to do it like it was when it came out of the factory 23 years ago now. So I'll show you the bike. So yeah, she's pretty rough, so don't get your hopes up too much, but alright, here we go. Alright, here she is. Now, yeah, as I said, very, very rough. So just a basic walk around, no clutch lever, which is, who needs a clutch anyway. The forks are pretty good condition. They're not pitted at all. Just obviously we'll clean it up in the Kero bath. Obviously the seals are pretty carcass, so we'll fix that. We've got the radios and all that there. Obviously everything's a bit beat up and obviously very, very dirty. So we'll take the wheels off and all that kind of stuff, and we'll probably take the spokes out and sandblast them or bead blast them and get them all cleaned up in there. We'll obviously put new bearings. The plan is to basically put bearings, new crank, new piston, new rings, new pipe, paint the frame exactly like it would have come out of the shop. So yeah, as you can see, the stickers are falling off. Apparently there's a bit of paint up here, so that's pretty cool. It does have a gripper seat, so if nothing else, I spent $1,000 on a gripper seat. So it does have an FMF pipe, which surprised me that it was still in, it's rusty, but it's still in semi-good condition. All the cases can be cleaned up, that's fine. Foot pegs are bent, but that's what happens after, they're all flogged out. That's what happens after all those years. So yeah, move around to the back. So yeah, everything's just got to be taken off, blasted, or replaced. Yeah, it's just an old bike. So yeah, I've taken the bung out of the engine, and it's just dripping oil. It's not running out, so that's a bit alarming. But that's alright. We'll get it all cleaned up, and throughout the coming weeks and or months. And oh, there you go, that clutch lever's snapped off, so that's alright. Well, I used to race Hondas, so I've got a lot of spares for these bikes, so but not everything. So I've already had a look at a few places on the internet, trying to find people to paint my frame and exhausts and wheels and stuff like that, where I can get them bead blasted. So I do have a little sand blaster here, but for the bigger stuff I might have to go somewhere. So yeah, so that's it. As I said, it's no oil portrait, but that's alright. There's a whole lot of work in it, but that's why I picked it up, and that's why it was so cheap. So like I said, it's DCMX Restoration, so this is what we're doing. We're restoring. I haven't restored a bike for a little bit. The last bike I restored was the CR125. So and if you check my Instagram, which I'll put here, there, that it came in, it was okay, it looked alright. It was obviously very worn, being 10 years old, and then I went through that bike and made it the bike that it is today. So, and I'm quite happy with that. So Just a little recap. Last weekend we did go out to Toowoomba. I didn't film because obviously I didn't want to make you guys watch the same video of Toowoomba 5 times in, a month. So where Mountain Man was. So I went out there, raced the 350 and the MX1, and raced the 125, my KTM 125. I took the CR just as a spare. Thought, nah, I won't need it, should be right. And I won the first moto on the 125, 17 seconds, which, probably my best one ever. And I come third in the MX1, and then won the second moto on the 125, and come second in the MX1 in the last one. And then the last one I crashed going for first in the 125, end up coming second overall for that moto, and I led the MX1 for about 3 or 4 laps, and then end up getting second on that. So ended up on the day I won the 125 class and come second in the MX1, so it was a pretty good day. So I will show you this wherever it is. Over here at my bench. But in the second moto I had a little mishap in the 125, and I must have just dropped it down in a rut a bit too much. Being Toowoomba, it's got big ruts and stuff like that, so yeah, it pushed my pipe out, and now I've got a big bend in the pipe. So yeah, it's pretty cool. So when I buy the pipe for the 250 on that restore, I'll have to buy another one for this. I will get this one fixed, but I'll probably just leave it as a sparey. So yeah, it's made a hell of a racket. I still won the race, so it just wasn't as much guts as what it used to have. So that's when I swapped over in the last moto to the CR125, and yeah, she was a wild old ride. But I was actually going for first because they raced us with the older fellas, and yeah, I just come together with him, so things happen, and ended up coming second overall for that race. So that's all right, doesn't matter. So I still brought home the bacon. So yeah, we'll tear this down a little bit, and I'll film it every now and then. And but yeah, any questions you got, any comments you got, just obviously put them down below. Pretty new at this YouTube thing, so if I don't get back to you for a couple of days, don't be hating. Like I got a full-time job, so we're all busy. So but yeah, I'll put a link down below of my Instagram, and obviously you can go have a look at my other videos and all that kind of stuff on YouTube. So, but yeah, let's get to it. Alright, hey guys, it's midweek. Just tearing this bike apart. As you can see, we'll go in the front a little bit, hopefully you can hear me. Taking the barrel off, taking all the seat, subframe, all that kind of stuff off. I don't know if you can see too much, but in here there's all like little chunks of metal sitting in here. There's my finger. In there. In there. And so yeah, the piston was completely smashed. I'll put a picture of that up. And so I got the Caro bath in the background going on. So it's just doing my power valve cover. I've got a few little things in there, just soaking up just before I can wash, because I like to wash them all at one time. That way I get stinky and dirty and muddy all at once. So I'll turn this camera around and you can have a look at the power valve. I don't know actually how it worked, or even if it did work, but she's gonna sing once I'm finished with it, don't worry about that. But yeah, when I saw this, I don't know how it worked. So alright, so this is the barrel at the front. As soon as you pull it off on the where the reeds are and stuff like that, you can see all the metal all in here. So yeah, you can, it definitely detonated. And there's the power valve. So I don't know how it worked. It's all scummy and mucky and dirty, and yeah, I don't know how it actually worked, or if it did work, but that's alright. It's actually not too bad of a head. It didn't hurt it too much. I'll turn this off. It didn't hurt it too much in the actual cylinder, so we'll see what happens once I clean it up a little bit more and sand it down and all that kind of stuff. And yeah, we'll keep going, and we'll get it shined up, ready to race.